Hello, everybody, and welcome to NOS Startup World. Today, we're going to hear this morning about 5G. So 5G is a trendsetter for a very, very close tomorrow. And we're going to listen to a few startups, a few of the most amazing startups, and hear about how this 5G, how this connectivity will improve businesses. So, before we move on to the pitch session, let me just present to you the amazing jury that is with us today. So we have Inês Marques from Microsoft, Miguel Aguiar from NOS, and Felipe Fontes from Kaizen. You will meet them right after in the Q&A session in each pitch session. So without further ado, I would like to invite Ernesto to share with us Automaze.
Thank you very much, João. Hello, everyone. My name is Ernesto Pedrosa, and I'm the CEO. So just a second, just hit play. Sorry. Hello, everyone. My name is Ernesto Pedrosa, and I'm the CEO of Automaze. Automaze, in short, is a low-code AI automation platform to create enterprise-grade AI automations. We combine, in a very unique way, conversational AI, deep learning, NLP, and some aspects of RPA into a single platform. With all of these components, we are able to deliver automation rates above 80% in many situations. One can look as like a Zapier, but for more complex use case or AI-powered business use cases. On top of this platform, we have already built or pre-built a set of products that can be easily deployed to deliver operations or deliver results to operations, such as Smart Inbox, Smart Voice and Chat, and Smart Decision. This one consists in rapidly ingesting historic data to create predictive AI to automate business predictions. Now, let me just play a quick video about Automaze, about our platform.
Your business is growing. You're happy. But now you face a whole new kind of challenges. Too many clients' requests and unstructured information take most of your team's time. The solution? Meet Automaze Artificial Intelligence Cloud Platform, a platform to easily create AI-based and fully automated voice and text solutions, case-in-box automations, and predictive AI to automate your business's mission-critical processes. With a self-service approach, you build AI solutions for repetitive and complex problems autonomously. The platform is easily integrated with third-party tools and has an advanced low-code module for more demanding situations. And it is so easy to deploy. Just what you've been looking for. A simple way to bring your customer service to the next level. This is Automaze, and we are on a mission to democratize intelligent automation to every organization.
The secret sauce behind all of these products is our state-of-the-art AI automation platform. Actually, we see the platform as our end game. Our end game is to sell the platform as an enabler tool to empower everyone to deploy AI automations rapidly and robustly. This is a full-service platform, cloud platform, and we have several aspects that sets us apart from the competition. One key differentiator is our evolving AI technology. This evolving AI technology allows our automations to keep learning with the business as we go. And this is crucial for keeping up with the rhythm of the business and the way the business change and adjust automatically. So with unmatched speed, we always respect privacy and all the security requirements the business might have. These are just a few brands that are already using Automaze nowadays to improve their operations. Altis optimized the social care team in over 80% using Automaze. King let AI take care of more than 84% of the customer interactions on the Candy Crush gamers community, and just focus on the essential ones that require attention to take care of their gamers, their precious assets. Leroy Merlin managed to provide chat support through the digital boom caused by the COVID-19. Otherwise, they were they're overwhelmed with all the traffic they were getting without Automaze. Look forward to answering any question you might have, and thank you very much for taking the time to hear from us. Over to you, João.
Thank you, Ernest. Let's hear the questions from the jury, please.
Okay, I can start. Hello, Ernesto.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your presentation. I think it was very clear and very useful. I was going to ask you about in what stage is Automase in the evolution for the business? In what stage of startup is it? And how does it work the business model? How do you put the business model together?
So in terms of the stage, for the last couple of years, we've been mostly investing in technology, setting the foundations for the self-service platform that I just presented. Now we are in a turning point in our life, let's say. So we are now closing a seed round that will be publicly announced in a couple of weeks. That will basically make the shift to be more, say, let's say more serious go-to-market and start approaching different markets, Europe first, North America, and that will make the shift from being someone that is proving the technology in the market, find the key clients that will help us getting the numbers and showing them that technology works and is better than the competition. Right now, we are focusing on selling technology across frontiers. And the other one, sorry, Miguel, was the business model. Sorry, the business model. It's based on the work done by the automation. So we charge by volume. Of course, we have these different packages, and the higher the volume, the lower the unit price is, obviously. So we have this at least 1 year commitment, and of course we can do multi-year commitment agreements, of course.
Thank you, Ernest.
Thank you, Miguel. Great question. Inês or Felipe?
Yes, I can. Hi. No, first of all, let me say that it's with a huge interest that we are part of this jury. Our business means that being consultants in operations means that every day we are faced with challenges that sometimes only technology can solve, or at least every day we have more opportunities to include technology, and so it's very interesting to be here. So one of the questions I have is even in customer care, sometimes it's not possible to have it fully automated, and we have to pass to some traditional form of conversation with the client. And so how does your platform deal with interaction between automation and traditional customer service, whether the synchronous part, but also asynchronous in a synchronous way?
Great question, Philip. We believe in human plus AI. So just AI doesn't work because there are always the specifics, corner cases, etc. So our platform has this human plus AI approach up front. So in the sense that we let the AI take care of the more standard ones and over the more complex one to operators. But we do work in fully automated scenarios because we have clients that don't want to have supervision, inspiration, just let the machine answer. Otherwise, they just show the phone number and call us in another channel. But yes, we have this very put in place in terms of the fully automated and the human assisted in the back. In all of these clients, we have supervision and this handover protocol between humans and machine. But not all of these scenarios that I've mentioned in our platform require human supervision. Some of them are just to integrate with existing RPA flows, for instance. The decision support is the one that we are just deploying APIs or exposing APIs for predictive AI, and then it's up to the API should accept or not our suggestion. And it's usually based on the confidence level of the AI. They can do just a switch. Say if the confidence is super high, just automate it. Otherwise, just follow a traditional path through an operator, through a human agent. So yes, it's basically fundamental to have always this human supervision or human touch connected to the AI.
Thank you, Ernest. Thank you. Clear.
Thank you, Ernest. Do we have any more questions?
Yeah, so I would just close here the round of questions. So first of all, thank you so much, Ernesto. Obviously, I know the solution already, but I think it would be interesting, from even from the audience perspective, to understand a bit more. So how your solution integrates with the ecosystem, the existing ecosystem of the clients, right? I understand, like, obviously this I assume it would have a connection to the real CRM and what is like the base, right, of the interaction with the clients, but how are you connected with the whole ecosystem? This is the first question. And the second one would be to understand maybe, just some references of real cases. You showed us some clients, but how do you see your solution mapping out really with I would say, with the day-to-day business of the client? So if you could share some examples with us,
absolutely,
that would be great as well. Thank you.
Excellent. We are fully flexible in what regards integration, both upstream and downstream. We are quite flexible integrating with what we call inbound channel, being a Facebook, being a Twitter, email, or even an RPA flow. We are fully flexible. As long as there are APIs available, we can connect with, and with zero code, low code, everything is visual, just drag and drop, configure the APIs, parameters, and you are done. You are good to go. On the back, the same. We are fully flexible. We have many transactional automations in place. It's just not about just FAQs, bots like you see in the market, are actually automations that are capable to work from the start to the end, being invoking APIs, validating data, updating, rescheduling a delivery for content online, for instance, unblocking a VCTT account for CTT. All of this is being done by automation with zero human intervention. So we are saving a lot in terms of contact center costs, and as well getting this super fast and agile for the users that don't have to wait on the phone for someone to pick up the phone. In terms of use cases, so we have VCTT, where we are unblocking all these troubleshooting the VCTT accounts. We are doing content online for post checkout experience, reschedule, return items, many things. So Altice, I've mentioned, so we are optimized all social care team that is managing all this inbound from Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We are doing this triage, routing, and even reply for the more standard ones like price plans, etc. that are more, let's say, straightforward. But we can do transactions as well in these inbox automation scenarios. It's just a matter of the client want to evolve in that direction. We have in this health insurance space where we are automating a claim decision that require prior approval from the insurance company before the hospital going forward. We are using historic data, past decisions to automate future decisions, and we are getting automation rates around 60%. So meaning that only 40% of these claims require human intervention or people with medical knowledge approval analysis. So the scenarios varies. It depends on the business need. We are quite flexible. We believe that in this holistic vision, we can share and take advantage of sharing assets across different channels and scenarios inside an organization, because the AI is the same, the topics are the same, the connectors mostly are the same to the CRM, Salesforce, Dynamics, you name it. So there's a lot of benefits and accelerators by using a platform like ours. So you have to kind of replicate all the work over and over and over just because you change the channel, because you change the organization or the department inside your company.
That was a great overview. Thank you so much, Ernesto.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Thank you, Ernest. Great presentation. Thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you.
And everyone seeing from the event platform. So now we're moving on with Sensefinity. So I should call Orlando to the stage. We're ready when you are.
So, hello, I'm Orlando. I'm co-founder and CEO of Sensefinity. And at Sensefinity, we are building the Internet of Cargo. Over 30% of goods which are transported every year are lost in the supply chains. This amounts to about $1 trillion, which are lost. Which are lost every year in the supply chain, enough to feed 2 billion people. And with this amount of food, we could actually feed the entire population, which is currently having hunger in the world. So we have actually the capability to solve this problem. How are we solving this? We are working with the biggest companies in every part of the steps in this logistics chains, starting with the crate companies, which create these transporting boxes for the food, then with pallet companies, and then in the end with transportation companies and with the vehicle companies, like for instance Daimler, the biggest truck manufacturer in the world. We create a sensor which is capable of detecting food loss. It's capable of detecting problems with vaccines, and it's also capable of detecting theft or damage of goods. And this data is registered in the blockchain, as well as via our global communications in a cloud and analytics platform, which then allows for the integration with ERP systems, for instance, from SAP or Salesforce. So we combine the best of two worlds, the real-time visibility of goods and alarms, but also the analytics and the machine learning on top of the data which is gathered and which will be able then to define and identify patterns to save goods. And using the blockchain, we are capable of building an audit trail and to have the credibility of the data which is stored. Our customers come from retail, transportation, logistics, as well as IT companies, which are capable of integrating and reselling our services to their customers. And 5G will be now the real driver of this technology, because it reduces the integration costs for communications, and as well as it introduces capabilities for communicating using very low power, which enables these sensors to live for a long period of time without being disconnected. And now 2020 and 2021 really show how vulnerable our supply chains are. For that reason, companies are currently asking for these sensors in order to create visibility, predictability into their supply chains, so that customers really know what's happening with the goods that they are ordering, where in the world are they being transported to the right location under the right condition. Our team comes from Nokia and Siemens, where we brought these telecommunication skills, as well as from the logistics and FMCG area, where Rolf Klöckler was CEO of Löwenbräu, as well as the Vice President of Danone. We are currently present in Europe, in Asia, and in South America. And together with our customers, we are currently building out this global network of communications, which will be the foundation of the Internet of Cargo, a real global spanning integration of cargo customers as well as logistic providers. Your questions?
Thank you, Orlando. Great presentation. So let's hear the questions.
I can start. Mm-hmm. Thank you for the presentation. Very clear. Well, I think it's very easy to think of use cases that some part of the sensing ecosystem already exists. So my question is it possible to integrate this platform and the ecosystem of sensors you have with a pre-existing one? The first being the first question. And the second one is that we believe that, I think this is common sense, IoT and technology is building devices consuming less power, smaller, more with a lot more mobility. So this platform was designed to sense, and my question is, do you have plans for it to actually integrate also with actuators and not only sensors? And so in a completely remote way, we could also trigger actions.
Yes. So this is, as you correctly said, a platform. So the integration of other sensors is possible into the system, and also very easy to achieve via this cloud-based platform. The second point is the integration of actuators. So we have today the capability of sending configuration data towards the equipment. So we have the down channel implemented. So if there is a use case, for instance, for like turning on an air conditioning when we sense the wrong temperature. So when we get that use case, we can easily implement it. So in terms of the platform, it's already there, but in terms of customers, we didn't have yet this need to do that.
Yeah, thank you very much. Clear.
Thank you. More questions, please.
I can go now. Orlando, thank you so much for the presentation here. Again, I also know a little bit more of the solution, but I think in terms of, you know, again, use cases, you've mentioned you're really focused more on cargo and FMCG verticals, but I think it would be interesting as well to, if you could share as well some real cases in could be in one of this,
Yes.
you know, on these two industries, just for us to get a bit more sense on how the solution lands on the field. And then I was curious, just with the last slide that you shared there, just to understand what is actually I would call it the parallel impact that you are having in terms of sustainability. So I believe your solution, that's natural, will optimize some of the all of the costs and even, you know, energy coming from this business activities. But it would be interesting for us to understand exactly in terms of sustainability impact, how are you performing in this element as well?
Yes. So in terms of use cases or some examples, we are with the biggest meat producer in the world, controlling the transportation of the meat they produce, then ship up to the retail, controlling the quality, avoiding the spoilage, as well as loss of quality due to the wrong conditioning. Then we have also the same use case, but for fish. Some of the biggest fish farms are in Europe as well. So the meat is in Brazil, the fish is in Europe. And we are also controlling vegetables, for instance, bananas or mangoes. When they are imported into Europe, they use the trip to actually ripe the fruit. So that's the reason when you go to the supermarket and you see that the bananas are still green is because the ripening process was not correctly controlled. And we are using now our technology to help optimize and perfect this entire trip, so that really when the bananas come into the supermarket, they have the right yellow, and you can basically, whenever you go to the supermarket, buy the bananas ready to eat. So that use case we have as well. And the second point regarding the SDGs, we worked mainly on the sustainable field in the area of the infrastructure, and there we have already helped several supermarkets to save up to 400 tons of food by early detecting wrong conditions. And our major goal in the next 10 years is really to work on SDG 2, which is the solve world hunger, because in terms of capabilities, we have the technology for that. We have customers asking for that. So it's really feasible with today's technology and also with today's price points, now that we are having a narrowband IoT and LTE and the 5G technologies in the low band area, to achieve global connectivity and real-time connectivity for these goods. And this will really provide the technological infrastructure to save this food and orient this food towards really the people in need. So there is no need today to have more land, to have more water. We produce already enough food to feed the world, and the only reason why we don't do that is because today logistics chains are not are not real-time integrated, so they cannot be managed. But our vision is that in the next 5 to 10 years, we are able to change that, and technology will make these supply chains save all this food.
And we're optimized. Thank you so much, Orlando. That was great. Thank you.
Hello, Orlando. Hello,
Yes.
Orlando. Thank you very much for your presentation. It's a complete fit with what at NOS we do at NOS, like narrowband IoT and 5G. So for us is very, very interesting to know these use cases and to get to know how technology like we are deploying can help companies like yourselves. My question is, how do you what are the KPIs or some example of KPIs and metrics that you may have that you can share with us to reflect the success of the company? Can you share a little bit about that?
Yes. So in terms of sustainability, the KPI that we are using is the food saved. And last year we have saved over 400 tons of food from spoiling. In terms of the product market fit, it's the sales, and there we have a sales volume of almost 300,000 euros last year. And in terms of the pipeline for this year, it's around 4 million euros. And in terms of customers, it's 412 customers at the moment on our platform. The main driver is really these disruptions that we are seeing in supply chains. Last year a lot, and this year companies are now trying to prepare and to optimize it. And I think they are using really this time that we have now to really try to fix the basics of and change the basics of supply chains. Supply chains are now over several hundred years old, but it's really now the time that digitalization will impact these supply chains. And we see that a lot. I believe that 2021, we saw Gartner talking about that. We saw EY talk about that. 2020, so this year will be really the year where supply chains start being changed by IoT and telecommunications. So 5G is really one of the enablers because of the low global communication cost, as well as the low energy impact, which is really important, that we now have a technology which can, with very low energy footprint, make these connections.
Yeah, congratulations! It's very well thought and excellent numbers.
Thank you, Miguel.
Thank you, Orlando. Great presentation, very, very compelling and clear. Let's call now for OmniFlow with Pedro Romão. Pedro, hello.
Hello. Can you hear me well? You probably see the presentation right now. So I'm Pedro Romão. I'm the founder and CEO of OmniFlow, and we provide sustainable smart city solutions. So the problem that exists right now is that normal street lights have a huge CO2 impact, and they just provide a simple basic service, which is light. At the same time, 5G deployment will require thousands of new infrastructures. And there are already 500 million street lights installed with old technology that are perfect vehicles for deployment of 5G and additional added value digital services. So the current existing solutions on the market look like this. They are unrelated pieces of hardware put together in the field that mostly require new foundations, new poles, and are put together by technicians, for example, for CCTV cameras, and then a radio for a telecom operator. And this requires complex infrastructures. And the end result is like Christmas tree. So we thought in a completely different approach, which is an integrated approach for a sustainable smart lamppost. It's sustainable because we generate power on site from wind, solar, and also energy storage. But we also integrate LED lighting and all the applications that we can fit inside. So we can fit IP security cameras for computer vision, Wi-Fi access points, LTE or 5G small cells, audio speakers, edge computing, and all kinds of IoT sensors. And of course, one of the biggest advantages is that we can use the existing poles. So we can save a lot of time and investment to deploy the units on the field. So the core technology is based on the hybrid system that we developed and patented internationally. So we track the wind coming from every direction because of the inverted wing that we have on our device. But also we use solar cells on top of the unit that the wind helps to clear any dirt accumulation on top and cools down the cells, bringing up efficiency. And we also have the built-in battery banks inside and all the electronics. So we receive all the information coming from the system. There's a SIM card in every unit transmitting the information from battery status, solar radiation, wind speed. So there's already by standard a lot of data that we can monetize on the future. And we developed our own software platform to monitor and control all the units. And this platform, we can integrate multiple other sensors like air quality sensors from third party. It's not blocked to any specific vendor. And we can integrate and develop in the future additional software services that can bring up revenues on our already existing infrastructures. So the biggest difference is that we can open the unit and customize to the specific need. So when we install the unit in a location, we drop the power consumption more than 90% on the lighting, but then it becomes an asset for multiple other infrastructures. So for example, we have space inside that we can lease for telecom operators to deploy their network, creating sustainable 5G networks, for example, but also all kinds of sensors and digital services. And some examples of this. So this is how we integrate a complete small cell inside of the unit. Here we are using an Ericsson radio, but it can be a Nokia or Huawei. We are not blocked to any specific vendor. The same with computer vision. It's completely integrated. We track everything around the unit, and we can increase digital services like smart parking or edge computing, where we integrate local processing to process traffic analysis, V2X, and all kinds of technologies. So definitely, one of the main core advantages is using existing poles and infrastructures that enables us to use the most of the already installed hardware. So this will create a big opportunity for future technologies like drone delivering services that we can integrate also on our unit, micromobility services, and of course, our value proposition is very clear. So we can reduce more than 90% on the energy costs on lighting, and we can create added value services that generate revenues from 5G, computer vision, and all kinds of IoT sensors. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Pedro. Now let's listen to the questions that the jury has to make.
I can start. So, Pedro, excellent presentation. I think it's amazing what you are doing. I've been receiving feedback from other SMSs and WhatsApp saying this is really amazing.
Thank you.
So we have I have one or two questions. So the first one is, how are you in terms of clients, and basically, are you deploying already any kind of your solution in a city, or how you plan to do this? The other one is regarding GDPR. How are you in terms of how do you control this? How you can assure your client that this is GDPR compliant in terms of when you take images, for instance, or license plates, whatever. From what I understood, you have there a solution that you can. It's modular, so you can add things and be more flexible than the usual stuff. So that, I think, it's also a great input. And I was asking if you're planning to add more stuff into it, or you believe it as it is.
Yeah, so definitely. So this is our current market presence. So we are in more than 30 countries with big corporates as partners. We have deployed in many markets. Siemens is one of our strategic partners that is selling our product in many of these markets. But also we have strategic partnerships with telecom operators, of course, because of the 5G network deployment, including NOS, where we already deployed some small cells in a customer here in Portugal. So responding to the GDPR, we choose, of course, when we use the service of data collection, we normally use edge computing. So everything is processed locally. So we don't send any information related to video streams of cameras. So the customer can do that directly. If it's in a specific market, they want to do security directly to access the video stream. It's a different pipe. It does not pass through OmniFlow. Through OmniFlow, we only process locally inside the unit using our edge compute device, and we just send data. Related to additional applications, we started building hardware according to the specific sites, but now we are working more like the Tesla of the street lighting, where we have already all the hardware from day one. And then just by software, we press a button and we start a new service. And in this way, we can just increase the number of services during the next period. Just by software services, we can bring up a lot of value without any further investment in hardware.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pedro. Thank you, Miguel.
Yes, maybe I will just follow up, because it's really the question that I had. It was really connected to what Miguel actually mentioned, and Pedro, you were just touching the point here. So first, congratulations for the presentation. I think it was really clear the value proposition that you are bringing. I just wanted to be a bit more challenging now, and maybe push here a bit the spicy button, but. You've mentioned the service regarding air quality, so I believe this is like the second layer or second level of product development roadmap that you are focusing at the moment. Could you share with us some other examples of services that you are planning to bring up to the platform in the next years? Is there anything that you can already share with us in terms of product development? Because I think it's really interesting, right? Because you have the platform already, right? So the hardware is there. So there is a whole world of possibilities, right, of services that you can connect to the existing hardware. So I think from the audience perspective, would be super interesting to understand what's the next stages of your product itself.
Yeah, so definitely we think we have an important role on autonomous driving thing, because think of these smart infrastructures as like the control towers for airplanes. So in autonomous driving scenes, only the car sensors will not be enough to be able to detect some danger or some road conditions. So we are in the perfect spot to provide this information. So we are working on V2X technologies, which is we will detect events using our existing sensors, optical sensors or radar or whatever. And then we will transmit these events directly to the vehicles or to everything that is listening. So in that sense, we are entering a very important pilots for V2X technologies directly in San Diego with Qualcomm, which is one of the biggest players in this field. But also we are entering the drone charging thing. So it's we are now able to control autonomous missions from drones and use our platform so they can land, charge, and proceed to the next mission. So this is like in a POC stage. We already did like the minimum viable product for that. It's like a medium-term objective because legislation is not ready for that yet. So we are strict to operate in very limited amounts of spaces. But I'm sure it will be a thing of the future, not only for logistics to expand the drone missions, but also medical missions. So if you like defibrillator on demand, and also very importantly telecommunication missions for disaster and recovery. So we have a close connection with Verizon in the US, where we showcase this product for the first time. So these two are one of the bets for the future.
Super nice, Pedro. I hope we can see, OmniFlow towers spread around Portugal very soon. Thank you so much.
We're trying.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any more questions?
Yes, I can. Part of my questions were already answered, so thank you. It's a very interesting product, very interesting presentation. It looks like it's greatly dependent on public investment, specifically in municipalities. So I believe that is a huge challenge. So the first part of the question is: are there clear business cases with payback really well structured to help you? And I'm asking this because we have a consistent experience in municipalities, and I think there are huge use cases even for Portugal, but we don't know about, we don't see it. So are the math? Okay.
That's the biggest advantage of the system. So let's use, for example, units in Parque das Nações, Lisbon. Okay, so they have like a pole with four 250 watt units lighting. So this means that they have like almost 50 euros per pole of operational costs, and we can sell that purely capex with 4 years ROI, or we can drop the price tag to half from day one. And then we offer the possibility of having additional revenues. So it's a complete change of the picture. So it passes from a cost to cash flow positive infrastructure. So it's a completely shift, and we are trying to make that path along the municipalities, but it takes some time.
Of course. No, perfect. And then together with the additional services and hardware that you can put in, so it will be each time easier. So thank you very much. It's clear. We have to talk more.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Felipe. Thank you, Miguel and Inês, for the questions as well. And Pedro. Now we're going to listen to Ubismart with Paulo. But before that, let me just remind you that unfortunately, we don't have time to read the questions from the chat, but you guys should go ahead and then try to respond or try to talk with everyone that is giving you kudos and asking you a few questions. So congratulations, and Paulo, the stage is yours whenever you're ready.
Okay, good morning. I'm going to share my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so thank you very much for the invitation. My name is Paul Marks. I'm the founder of Ubismart. That is a company that is focused on wireless technologies, IoT, and smart city solutions. We were founded in 2015, so we have already some stable business. I'm going to present a new business unit inside the company that is focused on augmented reality, in this case for help the water infrastructure, the water utilities. So issue that the water utilities has is to find the infrastructure that is underground. So typically they use 2D maps, they use devices to try to find the infrastructure that is underground, but also, as you know, sometimes from time to time that there are water utility strikes. There's the ones that are here in these movies. It quite often happens, and it can cost a water utility strike can cost around 20,000 euros repair, and this is a huge impact on the business. And water utilities are looking for solutions to bring their registry that they have in office to the ground, to the technicians that are on the field, to have more insights about the infrastructure that is underground. Okay, so we developed together with a water utility company in Aveiro, ADRA, Águas da Região de Aveiro, a solution that allows the technicians to just using a tablet, a low-cost tablet, or a Microsoft HoloLens, if you want to be more. So it is also possible to use HoloLens, but at this time we are mainly using augmented reality tablets. And you can see the hidden infrastructure pointing the tablet to the ground with sub-decimeter precision. It actually works indoors, because you are using the GPS and the Galileo information outside, and then based on property image processing algorithms, you are able to keep geolocation indoors, which is interesting and is beyond the competition. And it also allows the technicians to update the assets. So it's not just to visualize on the field the information that is on the registry, in Portuguese, cadastro, but also to update it in case of need. So our value proposition is this: one better excavation a year covers the ARGIS subscription cost. Okay, so I have here a video that was in our first customer, Águas da Região de Aveiro, where in this particular area, the Praça do Peixe, we see the network, that is the sanitation network and the water distribution network. And the technician can see the network as the first time, and they got very good feedback from people that is on the field, because the first time they see the infrastructure that is underground. We have a top view possibility. Here in another historical street in Aveiro, you can see here that you can reach around 10 centimeters precision. We can have an excavation mode where we see what is underground. This is currently designed for water infrastructure, for the water industry, with a lot of feedback from the water industry. So from day zero, we work with the customer. But we are also looking for other utilities like electricity, telecommunications with optical fiber that is underground. So here we combine the power of augmented reality with geographical information systems. This is quite unique. There are a couple of companies in the world doing this. We convert what is 2D in geographical information systems in 3D because we saw this opportunity. Here, a technician can also not just to visualize the registry, but also create the registry. This is also an option, feature that was requested by our customers. And this completely changed the perspective that the technician has. And also the register needs to be updated. There is a lot of errors, and it's a huge task because only ADRA has 6,000 kilometers of infrastructure in underground in the Aveiro region. So you can see that it's a huge task to update and to improve the registry, and we are designing solutions for that. We are also in the digital transformation of machine maintenance. This is with support from the European Commission, from the Galileo projects, from the Horizon 2020. We have been selected in very selective projects in Europe. This is when that we bring augmented reality to machine maintenance. In this case, it's an industrial machine, but you can see we can be to be for other kind of machines and assets that are on the street. In this case, there is a direct communication with the machine. The technician can see the status of the machine, can visualize the manuals, can have schematics, play with the schematics. So instead of using paper, it's much faster to have direct access to have videos for the maintenance of the machines, because you know that cost of maintenance is becoming very high. Machines are quite complex. These robotic machines needs very good training, and this is a concern when you move to Industry 4.0 and a lot of automation. You can see here a 3D model, so the technician can see the 3D model of a specific part of the machine and see what are before the intervention, what needs to be done step by step. So we have all these, let's say, skills to challenges related with the combination of augmented reality with geolocation, Industry 4.0. So we work on this area. And this is a video that with a step-by-step instruction for the maintenance. This is because these kind of machines are sold in different parts of the world, and this avoids to send technicians to the places. And if you are able to have remote assistance, for instance, with video and so on. So this is why I like to bring these skills that we have, that is the combination of augmented reality with the Industry 4.0, and 5G is very important here, because if you have 5G in the city with low latency and extreme broadband, so the user experience will be much better. We saw this in Aveiro. Also in Industry 4.0, we have 5G coverage inside the industrial plant. All these interactions are much better. So what are our business models? So we have initial deployment price. So it is the deployment of the solution, and then an annual license per device after the first year. The hardware is provided by the customer. Our solution works with a 400 euros tablet, but we also work with Microsoft HoloLens for specific features that Microsoft allows. Okay, so business achievements. We launched this augmented reality for water industry in November. We have already 4 clients: Águas da Região de Aveiro, EPAL from Lisbon. We are now starting the project with them, and Águas do Vale do Tejo. Thanks to our, let's say, European participation in projects, we also got attention from Spain and the UK. UK has a water innovation network, very focused on the digitalization of the water industry, and we are in discussions with them for a POC. Of course, we'd like to move to other sectors. We see value in telecommunication sector, electricity and gas. And thank you for your attention, and I'm looking forward to your questions.
Thank you, Paul. Amazing solution and very, very clear presentation. Unfortunately, your presentation was a little bit too long, so we only have 6 minutes for questions. So I ask you to be really clear on the questions and the answers. So, any questions, please?
I can go now just to speed it up, right? So Paulo, thank you so much. It was really clear, as João mentioned. I can only imagine like the water industry technicians look at your solution and imagining like, okay, this is the real Disneyland, right? Of what could be our day-to-day basis, right? In terms of activity. So. Congratulations for that. I think it's really, taking what is actually the water industry management to another level. So congrats on that. I would be curious to understand a bit in terms of the implementation itself. How is your usual planned timeline? So how long does it actually take for your final customer to start using the full spectrum of the solution, and then would be just in terms of comparison pricing, how do you position yourself with your competitors, if there are any like that do exactly what you do, but just to understand in terms of market positioning, how do you stand at the moment in terms of your competition?
Yeah, actually, at least. Let's say looking to Portugal, is our first customer, we don't have any competition so far. We work very close with Águas de Portugal, that is the main player, other parts of Águas de Portugal. In terms of time of deployment, in 2 months, we can put this on the client. We need 1 month of integration in close collaboration with the client, because you have to understand the geographical information system they have. So they need some integration work. So it's needs some time. Also depends, of course, on the skills that we found in the customer. With other was very easy, but with our customers not so easy. So, but we're also ready and trained to do this. And of course, training is important for the field forces, because it's a new device. Some of these people are not very familiar with this digital transformation, but the feedback is very good. It's like science fiction for them. It's the first time they see the infrastructure that is underground. It's amazing. And we sell this without any, let's say, advertisement. We are not investing in marketing, which is bad. We are mainly technicians, but the customers come to us so far. Of course, we have ambitions to go to other markets. With the Águas de Portugal, they are also international. They are in other places in the world. So with this partnership, we try to go to other places. But of course, we are looking also for investors and partnerships.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
Thank you, Paulo.
That's great. Thank you so much, Paulo.
We have time for one more quick question, please.
Yes, I have a question here. I think it's quick. So, and it's related with the question from Ines regarding the setup. I believe some of your potential clients don't have the network mapped. So it will be difficult to put all the information of an old legacy network inside the system. I think it's very clever, the solution you found, to put some field service teams mapping as long as they go there and doing it for some parts. But how to solve when you just don't have the network documented, and what is your approach in those cases?
Yeah, what we do here is small updates and corrections of the infrastructure that is already mapped. Okay, because in the water industry, all the municipalities they have a registry. Most of the country is registry. They need this in the day-to-day business. So this is already a huge market. Okay, what the clients ask us is a tool to provide updates and corrections of the existing registry.
Okay.
So we don't see this as an issue so far, but as we are moving on in this market, maybe this needs will appear for specific cases. But we see here, let's say, potential with the existing 2D geographical information systems. The idea is to convert this 2D through holograms on the field so far. So this is our first step, and do some corrections when they are needed. We found, and they don't have a way currently to do these updates on the field. So they see this marked incendio is in the wrong position. So they have to do notes or a call to the people that is on the back office to update. And now they have a way to automatically update it. This needs integration with the geographical information system, is why it takes some time.
It's an amazing solution. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Paulo.
Okay.
Thank you to the jury as well for the questions. Unfortunately, we don't have time for any more questions, but let's welcome Iki with Pedro Almeida.
Good morning. I'm Pedro Almeida from Iki Technologies. I'm the co-founder and the CEO. I'm going to show you a video from our product, business to consumer. We call it Kit for Inclusion.
Kit for Inclusion. O Kit for Inclusion foi o projeto vencedor do Prémio de Inovação Tecnológica Engenheiro Jaime Filipe de 2020, promovido pelo Instituto Nacional para a Reabilitação. O nome Kit for Inclusion nasce da ideia de construir uma ferramenta multifacetada, uma extensão tecnológica da bengala, que vai auxiliar as pessoas com algum grau de dificuldade na sua mobilidade a tornarem-se mais autónomas, contribuindo assim para uma sociedade mais inclusiva. O Kit for Inclusion é uma caixa com beacons pré-configurados e etiquetas, refib e a licença de uso do back-office MyEyes. Este sistema está desenvolvido a partir de um back-office muito intuitivo e simples de utilizar, o que facilitará a qualquer pessoa normovisual a sua parametrização e assim ajudar uma pessoa cega a ter o seu próprio motor de voz para poder desenvolver a sua atividade. O back-office pode ser parametrizado em qualquer ponto do mundo com acesso à internet, num qualquer browser através de um username e uma password. Acede-se ao back-office MyEyes, onde para cada checkpoint, seja beacon ou coordenadas GPS, se faz corresponder um texto escrito numa janela adjacente. A tarefa de colocação dos beacons e etiquetas refib é também muito simples de realizar com a ajuda de um familiar ou amigo. Aqui vemos o André colocar uma etiqueta no frigorífico e um beacon no salinho da avó Inácia. Vamos agora usar a aplicação MyEyes depois da instalação dos beacons e da marcação dos pontos GPS exteriores. MyEyes, café ou meu café. Necessito usar máscara e antes de entrar deve higienizar as mãos com solução à base de álcool fornecida pelo estabelecimento e que se encontra numa mesa à entrada do lado esquerdo. Utilização do MyEyes para descrição das medidas Covid-19. A avó Inácia vai agora entrar em casa. Bem-vinda de volta à casa. Não se esqueça que tem um recado na cozinha. Está na cozinha. Encoste o telemóvel na etiqueta que está colocada no canto superior direito do frigorífico para saber o seu conteúdo. Tem outra etiqueta na última porta do armário de parede com a descrição das prateleiras. O almoço está na prateleira de cima num tupperware do lado direito. Por baixo tem 2 maçãs e um chocolate daqueles que a avó gosta muito. Bom apetite! Avó, não se esqueça que hoje vou passar por aí para levar roupa passada a ferro, e já agora, às 6 horas da tarde vai dar o concerto na Antena 2 do Mahler que a avó tanto gosta. Beijinhos e até logo!
Well, open for answers, for questions. I hope you see the video. Okay, it was okay, the video. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much, Pedro, for your presentation, for the video. I think it's clear what you are planning to do and helping the visually impaired people. The question here, and my respects for that, because I believe that these kind of solutions are very needed in the society nowadays, and not all of the people are giving the right attention to these problems. My question here is, do the beacons, do you have any kind of proprietary intelligence for the beacons? Are the beacons yours, and how does that work? And another thing is, and mind my provocative question, how does I just wanted to challenge you to explain a little bit more. How does you put there a use case where a grandchild helps their grandmother to, I don't know what's on the fridge, or reminded there's something going on the TV. But to be quite transparent, you don't need beacons for that, right? You can send a voice message telling them this kind of thing. So can you elaborate a little bit more on that and see for us to understand what's your perspective and how this can change the people's life?
Yes, of course. First, beacons. Beacons are not. It's a little box that transmits some Bluetooth signal to the.
I know what beacons are.
Okay.
I was just trying to see if yours have any specificity that.
Yes. Now we can use all kinds of beacons. Okay. We can use also everything that transmits the signal to the smartphone. It's like a trigger, a voice trigger in this case, because we're trying to go to the blind people, to the people with visual impairments. So we can use all kinds of beacons when we are close to the beacon or outside in a GPS point. Okay, a trigger voice is received by the user of the application. In this case, a blind person, or even we can. Usually, our solution is communication solution. So we try to send message in some point, in some time, and that's why the 5G is so important for us, because the speed and low latency, it's very, very urgent for our application. So we can transmit. We are a communication solution and also orientation. We can give some orientation on the streets. Going a little further, we have right now in Vila Moura, if you go with our application, with our app, we can go and have some orientation on the streets, information with the stores, with the restaurants, everything. So a little bit back, we can use all kinds of beacons and anything that transmits some kind of signal to the smartphone. I don't know if I answer your question about beacons, more or less.
Clearly. No, you said you are agnostic for beacons, so it's completely understood.
Yeah. So for the case, imagine that the blind person or the friend or the family can use every kind of message they want, because they just have to go to our back office, type a text, and that text is going to be listened by the user of the app. Okay, so imagine you are in your office and your parent is at home. You can write a message. You remember that in the frigo, the lunch in the top shelf. You can write it, and you don't have to call it, or you don't have to send a SMS. So it's like automatically updated, okay, in real time. Now imagine that you can mark dead points on the street. If you go, or your family or your friend going to another city to an event, you can mark, like you can imagine the Waze, the GPS Waze. You can mark the points, the GPS points, from the hotel to the hall where the event is going to be. Not now, I know, with COVID, but I hope in the near future.
Got it. Thank you very much, Pedro.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions? Thank you, Pedro and Miguel. Ines.
I think I can go here. Pedro, thank you so much for the presentation. It was good to see the video and understand what's the real case for your solution. Just curious to understand exactly how are you planning, to implement like a more communication plan. So are you planning to actually, build some partnerships with specific, I will call it, players in this segment that could help you to spread the message? How are you actually, designing this more tangible and more go-to-market strategy in terms of solution adoption?
Yes, we have many partners. One of them is Fidelidad. So Fidelidad, we made what we call a blind compliant area. It's a place where we have this kind of trigger voices, and it's in Associação de Cegos of the Distrito de Braga. So with Fidelidad, we're going to put some blind associations with that kind of information and trigger voices inside the associations. So we have also already signed a protocol with Almada, with the municipality. It's another big issue. It's the municipalities. They are very, very keen to go to and create some blind compliant areas. So it's right now a big point, inclusion. So they're being very easy to achieve partners, because it's a social issue that we have to resolve, or even to help the blind people. So if you don't know, there are 285 million people with visual impairments in the world. 36 million are totally blind. So this is not only for welfare, it's like this is a deal. This is a business. It's not only for the goodness. I don't know if I may explain that, but this is a business. Okay, we have lots of contacts with municipalities. We have also in shopping centers, shopping malls. We have in Vila Moura. So it's a wide kind of partners we have already.
That was great, Pedro. Thanks for sharing, because I think it's easier, right, to understand how actually the solution could actually fit in the market, understanding as well the partnerships that you are building there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We still have time for one more quick question. Flip.
Well, I have no questions, but I understand the technology, and I think it's really interesting. For sure, the strength of the solution depends on both municipality adherence, but also small business to consumer, and we have, and you need a lot of adherence there to make it useful for the user. But it's well thought and very interesting, and I just hope all the success for this challenge, and
thank you.
Will be good to hear.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and we've reached the end of this morning's pitch session. So let me just thank to the amazing startups for being here and sharing these amazing solutions. I'm completely blown away by these solutions, and also thanking especially the jury for having difficult questions for you to answer and to share with everyone that's watching us. So thank you, and we see each other again this afternoon with the Connected Cities pitch session here in the NOS Startup World.